Right now at 5, how a new bill that passed the state assembly would make it easier to access birth control in Wisconsin.
And a look at the surge in ridership on Madison Metro, seeing its highest ridership since before the pandemic.
Plus, how an app developed right here in Madison could help you make your house more user-friendly as you age.
It's all ahead on News 3 Now at 5. 1.3 million rides, according to the city of Madison. That's how many rides were taken on Madison Metro transit buses last month. The highest monthly ridership for any month in nearly 6 years. Year over year, the A and B routes clocked a roughly 50% increase. Metro Transit credits the city's launch of the bus rapid transit network and millions of federal dollars for the increase in ridership and service. Well, the Madison Police Department now investigating after yet another passenger hit a Metro bus driver. 2 detectives were walking down West Main Street yesterday morning when someone told them a driver needed help. Reports suggest the suspect boarded the back of the bus and refused to pay. When confronted by the driver about the fare, the suspect then punched the driver. That person was arrested for battery to a public transit operator, resisting arrest, and 6 counts of bail jumping.
If you don't have a garage or dedicated parking, owning and keeping an electric vehicle charged can be difficult. But the city of Madison, along with MG&E, hope to make things a little easier with 5 new pole-mounted EV chargers. The chargers are attached to existing utility poles, offering easy curbside access charging. One of the first chargers was unveiled at Troy Community Gardens.
Together, we identified 5 areas: neighborhoods with multifamily housing and without existing or convenient access to EV charging to add chargers to MG&E electric poles. These chargers offer convenient curbside charging for use by nearby residents.
MG&E says this is part of their strategy to reduce carbon emissions by 80% over the next 5 years and to have net zero carbon electricity by 2050.
Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington joins us now with an alert day in the forecast, Alex.
Yes, alert day conditions Thursday. Updates from the Storm Prediction Center in just moments. We have showers and thunderstorms going on right now for parts of the WISC viewing area. Radar 3000 showing right along 39 just northwest of Portage. A heavy downpour. Certainly you're going to be wanting to take note of that if you're going to be hitting the interstate here. Also 151 between Verona west towards Mount Horeb. Another shower, and the heaviest shower and thunderstorm activity right now is over the far northeast part of Lafayette County between Fayette and Willow Springs. These storms are actually moving towards the north and northwest. That's going to bring this into Waldwick at 5:01 p.m., the Hollandale area by 5:07 p.m. If this thunderstorm holds together, it may get as far north and west as the Mineral Point and the Dodgeville area here over the course of the next 30 minutes. You'll just take note here how few and far between these showers and these thunderstorms are across the area, really just over the far south central part of the viewing area. And as we use future track watches, we go towards 8, 9, 10 o'clock. They dwindle as we lose the heat of the day. These popcorn variety of showers and storms go away. Eric said alert day conditions. We have updates to our alert day. The biggest update is that the enhanced risk has been added to Thursday for a good portion of the WIC viewing area. This includes the city of Madison. Coming up in Maine weather, I'll break down the threats that could be involved with Thursday's alert day conditions, and we'll use future track to track that potential line of dangerous storms.
All right, Alex, thank you. A new bill in the state capitol would make it easier to access birth control.
News 3 Now political reporter Will Keneally has more.
10 minutes of debate on this bill.
This new bill passing the state assembly today would allow pharmacists to directly prescribe birth control to patients. They would have to go through a blood pressure screening, but could then use their insurance without having to go through a doctor.
This bill will allow women to have more choices in reproductive health care, decrease the number of unplanned pregnancies.
This is a Republican-authored bill in an effort to reduce the number of unplanned pregnancies. Right now in Wisconsin, more than a quarter of pregnancies are unplanned, according to data from Public Health Madison-Dane County. The thought being, reduce the number of unplanned pregnancies and you reduce the number of abortions, increase overall health outcomes.
And the highest rate is among young women in poverty. These women are unlikely to finish school, and it will severely affect their potential earnings throughout their lives.
This bill received pretty wide bipartisan support, and I want to show you something a little behind the scenes here. This is the legislative history for this bill. Now, aside from a couple of administrative things, each one of these lines is another lawmaker adding their name to this bill as a co-sponsor. It's 47 lawmakers in all. That's pretty rare. In a statement ahead of the vote, Assembly Minority Leader Greta Neubauer tells us that, quote, today's floor calendar shows us that despite our disagreements, it is possible to come together to pass good bipartisan bills that will move our state forward. But we know there's so much work left to be done. The bill now heads to the state Senate. Reporting from the state capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
A man is recovering after being burned in an explosion in a laboratory on Madison's west side. Yesterday afternoon, crews were called to Charmody Drive, just south of Garner Park, for a report of a person working with some type of powder that caught on fire. Firefighters say the victim was working in a lab with red phosphorus when the chemical reaction erupted and lit his shirt on fire. Officials say the man suffered non-life-threatening injuries and no other injuries were reported.
Madison police say a 15-year-old boy beat and robbed a person in a bathroom at Madison East High School. According to the police department's call log, the attack happened around 11 yesterday morning. The teen was arrested and faces charges of battery and robbery. They have since been taken to the juvenile detention center.
And Madison police also say they arrested a woman on the southwest side for stabbing another person. Officers were called to a parking lot on Atticus Way near Harbor Freight for reports of a 52-year-old woman stabbing a 40-year-old woman. In an update, police say the two women knew each other and had been involved in a fight prior to that stabbing. The 40-year-old woman's injuries were not considered life-threatening. The 52-year-old woman faces charges of second-degree recklessly endangering safety, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest.
Much of Wisconsin continues to be under a very high fire risk due to dry and windy conditions. Those conditions have led to 130 wildfires in the last week. Yesterday, 2 large wildfires broke out. The Warthog Fire in Juneau County burned an estimated 130 acres and resulted in the evacuation of homes in the town of Kingston and Mather. The Swiss Complex Fire in Burnett County burned 60 acres. Both of the fires have since been brought under control.
MMSD sincerely apologizes for the harm experienced by all of those impacted by these actions, including the Harris family, for what they said they endured related to their child's IEP. MMSD will continue to prioritize building positive, trusting relationships that foster safe, inclusive, and dynamic environments for learning and teaching.
That was Madison School Superintendent Dr. Joe Gothard offering an apology from the district for a camera being installed in a private area and an improperly implemented individual education plan. This is in response to the discovery of a hidden camera placed in a room where disabled students changed back in 2021. Dr. Gothard also addressed accusations of ableist bias from school staff by also apologizing for their behavior.
Experts say 99% of American homes are not designed with aging or living with a disability in mind.
So when life takes a turn, people often have to renovate their homes to accommodate. Arman Rahman introduces us to a new app being developed at UW-Madison that might help make that process more accessible.
Right now, you need a tape measure, a pen and paper, and a whole lot of money to determine whether your kitchen cabinets or kitchen area space are accessible to someone in a wheelchair. But soon, you could be able to do that with an app on your phone.
You may just think about adding things to make your home more accessible.
If you want to try to see if a grab bar in the shower is at the correct height.
But RHAT can tell you what you need to fix.
This tool helps measure the space for turning around.
To use RHAT, or the Augmented Reality Housing Assessment tool, you select from a list of common disabilities or limitations, like visual impairment, poor balance, or wheelchair use.
We go to kitchen.
Knobs, buttons are covered in red. If so, they're out of reach.
As well as the entire house, like a circulation, staircases, and basement, and parking lot.
It could help with not just disability improvements, but preventing falls, the leading cause of injury and death in adults 65 and older.
Fall usually happens when you are in an awkward position, when you are stretching yourself to do something that's not really suitably designed for you.
Professor Jung-Hae Shin researches how to allow more people to age at home, carrying that pen and pencil wherever she went.
And Kevin one day saw me doing that, like, can we do the AI out of it? Because it's just so much work.
So Kevin Ponto brought in something you probably have in your pocket right now.
We're using iPhones that have LiDAR sensors in them, so they have very accurate measurements. We can really quickly determine if a door is the right width, if something is the right height, without you having to go and measure it.
They've been testing the app in different homes and living spaces.
People find this easier to use, they can get results more quickly, the results are more accurate, they're more confident with the results.
And Shin hopes it leads to more conscious construction down the line.
We build a house every day that's not accessible. But if you build an accessible house from the beginning, the cost is not very higher.
Reporting in Madison, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Armand, thank you. After testing a second prototype of the app in the community this fall, the researchers hope to be able to release to the public within the next couple of years.
Here is a live look.
We don't have that.
Oh, we don't have the live look.
Envision Lambeau Field,
Yes,
if you will.
imagine, if you will, Lambeau Field. Can we get? We're not going to see Lambeau, though.
No, we're not going to see Lambeau.
Okay, but here's what we can tell you. The Philadelphia Eagles will take on the Packers in Week 10 of the Packers regular season.
We're getting little tidbits of the schedule, and this announcement leaked ahead of the full NFL schedule release. That's coming tomorrow night. The Packers will play the Eagles on Monday, November 20th. That's a 7:15 at night game. In Week 16, the Packers also go to Soldier Field on Chicago on Saturday, and December 20th, that's that rivalry matchup against the Chicago Bears.
Now, the full schedule comes out tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're standing by for that one.
Okay.
All eyes on Thursday when it comes to our forecast. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington's back next with your Alert Day details.
And the numbers are in on inflation for the month of April, what it means for your wallet right after the break.
And the Dow tumbling in Tuesday trading and reacting to the inflation report on Wall Street. The Dow falling almost 270 points. Strong day, though, for the NASDAQ, jumping almost 302 points. S&P 500 adds 42. And we'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
According to new data, Americans cleaned up some credit card and auto loan debt to start the year, but student borrowers felt the sting. Past due student loans hit credit reports for the first time in 5 years, and that tanked some credit scores in the process. According to a Federal Reserve report, total household debt increased by $167 billion during the first quarter, but credit card and auto loan balances fell by $29 billion and $13 billion, respectively.
Ticketmaster has a new pricing policy to improve your ticket buying experience. You'll now be able to see all of the service charges and facility fees before taxes up front. Previously, the fees were only visible at checkout. We all love that trick. Ticketmaster says the new all-in prices addresses consumer concerns about hidden costs. The change was prompted by the Federal Trade Commission rule on unfair or deceptive fees that went into effect just yesterday.
Inflation slowed more than expected last month despite tariff-related price pressures. Consumer prices rose 0.2% last month, and that brings the annual inflation rate to 2.3%. It is the lowest annual rate since February of 2021. Despite the better news, it may not last. Some experts believe tariff-related price adjustments will likely make their presence felt in the next few months. Well, an alert day is on the way for Thursday, but tonight there's a couple of spotty showers out there that Alex is keeping his eye on.
Yes, we have some pop-up showers and even a couple thunderstorms, Susan. One of these storms is getting a little bit on the active side here. We'll do a little tour here from north to south across the area. One area of showers and thunderstorms up near the Portage area. These are actually moving from southeast to northwest with a little weather system. We're on the northwest peripheral of that. Another shower over near the Fitchburg area. And then this is the strongest cell right now that could be producing a little bit of hail up to the size of about a ½ inch in diameter near the Waldwick area. This is going to bring this up into Dodgeville here just shortly after the newscast by about 1 minute. We can just take a quick peek here and see if we see any potential for hail with this thunderstorm. And there was a little bit of hail near the Waldwick area when I was looking at this cell just a little bit ago, but they're pulsing up and pulsing down. Nonetheless, frequent cloud-to-ground lightning, heavy rain, and some small hail, certainly a possibility with these cells. And we have that network of Skycams as part of the First Warn WeatherCam family of WeatherCams here. And we can see that cell here looking off towards the south and towards the east. This will be advancing again towards the north and towards the west, very likely reaching Upland Hills in Dodgeville here approximately 15 minutes or so. Future Track shows all the showers and storms this pop-up Friday. They're gone by the time we get to 9 o'clock as we lose the heat of the day. But take note here as we look from east to west, clouds building in. That's patchy fog to start off Wednesday. Then more pop-up showers and thunderstorms developing with the heat of the day. Then they go away. And then we eye up, as Susan was just saying, alert day Thursday. We have had our attention on this. I even late last week was mentioning we could have some strong storms with this weather system. Here's how that looks to play out. About 4 o'clock in the afternoon, a narrow but potentially intense line of thunderstorms stretching from La Crosse to Crawford County to the Dodge Lodgeville area to perhaps Darlington and down towards Monroe and Janesville as we head towards 4 o'clock. 5, 6 o'clock, they're already blasting through the area past Madison up towards Juneau, Adams, Marquette, and Green Lake counties Thursday evening, and then out of here by the time we get to 9, 10 o'clock. That's actually a good thing with this line of storms. It's a quick mover. It's not one of those weather events that looks like it's going to last into the overnight and into the dark hours, which makes storms even more dangerous. Thursday afternoon and evening, alert day conditions. This is an update in the what? All severe hazards are possible. Large hail, damaging winds, and potentially a couple of tornadoes. And just in, as of late this afternoon, as of approximately 2:30, the Storm Prediction Center enhancing the risk of severe weather. We have an enhanced level 3 out of 5 for a good portion of the WISC viewing area. This includes Lone Rock, Richland Center, the Dells, Portage, Madison, Camp Douglas, Marquette, Green Lake counties, even over towards the Beaver Dam area. What an enhanced risk means is that numerous severe thunderstorms are likely, and any of those storms could be on the intense side. What threats are we up against here? I bumped this up: winds, hail, and tornadoes. And if the confidence continues to increase, we may see some of these threats go into the high category over the course of the next 24 hours. So this is the time. Be tuning into all of our newscasts. First Warn Weather app, channel3000.com. And of course, if you have a NOAA weather radio handy, make sure that the battery's all charged and ready to go for Thursday afternoon going on into Thursday evening. Right now, again, those pop-up showers and thunderstorms are popping up because we are warm, very warm for this time of year. By 10 degrees above normal, we're at 77 in Madison, 76 in Monroe, as warm as 83 up on the interstate up towards Black River Falls. 77 Madison and areas to the east, and then where they've had a couple showers, just a couple degrees cooler, 74 in Oregon, 75 in Verona. Rest of the night tonight, we'll see temperatures dipping down to around 60, a little bit of patchy fog, and as we go out beyond in the 10-day, we'll get us through our alert day, and then the weekend is looking quiet for Seton Demai.
All right, Alex, thank you. Next at 5, how an Arkansas student lives out a baseball dream despite his blindness. We'll take you to the Diamond after a short break.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
A sophomore at the Arkansas School for the Blind and Visually Impaired has gotten the chance to live out his dreams as an announcer.
Dallas Cathy was able to do color commentary for a University of Arkansas Little Rock baseball game. Tyler Cass has the story.
There's a special beauty to the game of baseball in every sense. The sight of a towering home run, the smell of fresh leather, the sound of bat hitting ball.
The pops of the glove, the crowds, the organs, the announcers.
Dallas Cathy, a sophomore at the Arkansas School for the Blind and Visually Impaired, has only ever known the game through those noises.
It's just always been what I love.
He keeps up with everything that happens in a day with baseball.
If I hear the bat crack and I don't hear a glove, it's a hit. If I hear the bat crack and I hear the glove, it's an out.
And last Friday night, he got to live out a dream.
Warm welcome inside beautiful Gary Hogan Field and a welcome inside the Dom Thompson press box. I'm Max Coltrane, joined by Dallas Cathy.
Using stats printed in Braille, Cathy brought the color to the Little Rock booth.
What a shot by Cano!
And Cano breaks the scoreless tie with a solo shot.
And he definitely keeps that hitting streak going with that bomb.
With family and friends listening in the stands and around the state, Dallas did his thing.
It was kind of surreal, and I had people messaging me going, goodness, I didn't even know who that was.
And that's one thing that could lead to blowing the game open a lot more.
I think he surpassed any expectation probably any of us had.
And it is taking a minute to review this call.
It was pretty surreal that he got to live his dream tonight.
That's all from Little Rock for Dallas Cathy. I'm Max Coltrane signing off.
Had a great time.
Had a good time. Yeah, well done.
I felt like I belonged in that press box.
He certainly did. The game ended in a 9-1 Little Rock loss, but that didn't bother Dallas. He was focused on the camaraderie found in the booth, where he was just another guy talking ball.
Great story. And we'll have a final check of your forecast after a short break.
Torrential rain sweeps into the east as the middle of the country endures record-breaking heat. Lonnie Quinn will have the forecast.
And in tonight's Eye on America, the focus is on a Colorado community and the art of reinvention. The coal town striking gold by unleashing its creativity. We hope you join us on the CBS Evening News.
And coming up at the top of the hour, a group of healthcare workers are looking to unionize, but they say union busting stands in the way. That story and more next hour. News 3 Now at 6.
Finally at 5, a Texas couple is renewing their vows after more than 7 decades of matrimony. This is Albert Hart and Kathleen Love. Those are their real names. They were married 71 years ago. The two didn't even know each other when Kathleen first started writing to Albert while he was serving with the Marines in Korea. 5 days after he returned home, they got hitched. And now, can you believe that? Now they wanted to celebrate again, but this time with their family.
We've been married a long time, and our kids weren't there for our first wedding, so we decided to do it again for them.
I do. Albert and Kathleen fed each other some cake, they toasted to the future, and they shared the day with future generations.
5 days.
When you know, you know.
All those,
right?
those must have been some good letters. Let's go to Alex, final check of the forecast.
We have showers and thunderstorms out there right now for parts of the area. Let's go right now to radar 3000. The strongest cell is over portions of southern Iowa County. Just had a viewer reporting P2 dime-sized tail just south and east of Mineral Point, and that cell is moving towards the north, reaching Dodgeville shortly after 5:30. It also bring it right up to our Upland Hills sky cam. So there's a live look right now. That's the power of these cams to show you what's going on with that cell moving towards the north into the center part of Iowa County. Coming up at 6, we'll talk more about Alert Day Thursday and the threats they pose.
All right, Alex, thank you, and thanks for joining us. We'll be back in a half hour for News 3 Now at 6. Stay tuned now for the CBS Evening News.